Historic immigration policies of the United States. To begin with, people in America originally were fine and even wanted people to come and settle on the land. However, due to some states creating immigration laws, the Supreme Court made immigration a federal responsibility in 1875. As a result, the Immigration Service was created due to the increase of immigration that began in 1880. Between 1900 and 1920 is when the so-called Great Wave began. Almost 24 million people immigrated to the U.S. Subsequently, in 1921, the Quota Act was created, with the National Origins Act following it in 1924. These laws created quotas, which are limits on the maximum number of people that could immigrate to a given country, in this case the United States, in 1 year. The National Origins Act was the first of several modifications to the U.S. quota. This act allowed countries that had native-born residents in the U.S. to have 2% of that number immigrate to the U.S. This modification favored immigrants from Europe. In total, there were 4 modifications to the U.S. quota. The second modification occurred in 1965, in which the quotas for individual countries changed to quotas for the Eastern and Western Hemisphere. More immigrants came from Asia and Latin America as a result of this change. In 1978, the hemisphere quota was changed to a global quota. Lastly, in 1990, the global quota was raised to 700,000. Congress made preferences for applicants. These included family reunification, skilled workers, and diversity. Quotas were not the only immigration policies of the United States. For example, in 1986, there was the Immigration Reform and Control Act. The first part of this act was amnesty, which was only given to people who fell in 2 categories. The second part of this act was enforcement for less illegal immigrants. This did not work well due to lack of funding. This was not the only amnesty that would happen in the United States. Specifically, in the 1990s, there were a total of 4 amnesties. The Section 245 Amnesty of 1994, the Nicaraguan Adjustment and Central American Relief Act of 1997, the Haitian Refugee Immigration and Fairness Act of 1998, and the Legal Immigration Family Equity Act of 2000. A real-world example of this concept is the terrorists of 9/11-2001. The terrorists entered through tourist and student visas. However, 4 of them had violated the visas, which resulted in them becoming illegal immigrants. As a result, in 2006, an immigration reform was talked about in Congress. The House of Representatives passed the Border Protection, Anti-Terrorism, and Illegal Immigration Reform Act of 2005, while the Senate passed the Comprehensive Immigration Reform Act. Though both had passed, no compromise bill was passed. In summary, the United States has had many immigration policies. One of those include the quota laws, which had been revised over the years. Congress made preferences for applicants. These included family reunification, skilled workers, and diversity. Another is the many acts, such as the Immigration Reform and Control Act, and amnesties, such as the Section 245 Amnesty of 1994. Thanks for watching.